Oh no, you found the pictures. What am I gonna do? But I needed the money.
What's good, everyone? This is Jesse Cito from Scarborough Spots, and you are now watching The Scarborough Show, the show where we celebrate our people and our city. Let's go.
This episode is brought to you by the Scarborough Shooting Stars, the team that brought Scarborough its first ever professional championship. Get your season tickets now. Go to www.scarboroughshootingstars.ca. Brought to you by Aero Group of Companies, industry leaders dedicated to excellence, innovation, and community impact. A huge thank you to Aero for supporting Scarborough stories and helping us put our city on the map.
Today we're joined by Barbara Dickson. Barbara Dickson is a Scarborough-born and raised historian, author, and public speaker best known for researching and documenting the bomb girls of GECO in Scarborough. Barbara, welcome to the Scarborough Show.
Thank you so much, Jesse. Pleasure to be here.
Amazing. And we're here on the Scarborough RT.
So exciting.
This definitely brings back memories for me. Does this bring back any memories for you at all?
I remember writing it when it was brand new.
Wow. What was there excitement? Like, I want to say in the early 80s when it was announced that the RT was coming, and I know, the transit history of Scarborough, there's so many things that were happening in the 80s and 90s.
Yes.
What was the general feeling of people in Scarborough about the RT coming?
People were excited because Scarborough has been developed in terms of transportation. It's always been like that.
Always.
Continues to be like that,
Yes.
even today. I remember watching the subway come through. We stopped at Warden and then we got Kennedy.
Right.
And I was in university during that whole phase back in the 70s and early 80s. So the LRT was very welcome to help us to get around Scarborough. Yeah.
And speaking of Scarborough Town Center, our page, we do a lot of nostalgia. We like to go back into the 70s, the 80s. What would be a memory that you have of Scarborough Town Center back in the day?
I remember the day it opened.
Wow. You were there.
I was there.
Wow.
Yes, I remember when Queen Elizabeth came to open the Civic Center.
That's right.
I was there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was there. I can remember I was in grade 6 when the town center opened, and it was so exciting. Wow. I mean, it looks different than it does today, but they had, at the anchor stores, they had big balloons that would rise and fall. Yes. They had beautiful water fountains. Eaton's isn't even around anymore, but Eaton's had 3 stories, and on the top story was a beautiful sit-down restaurant.
Yes.
And of course, as teenagers, you couldn't afford anything, but you could get French fries for pretty cheap.
So that's the hack. That's how you got in.
That's it, yes.
People have actually mentioned the restaurant, and they've asked me to find pictures. I can't find a single picture of this restaurant, so it's almost like a myth.
Yeah, no, it's not a myth. No, it's not a legend. It existed, and it was just wonderful.
Thanks for sharing that. Do you have any memories of being at the Toronto Zoo?
I was here when it opened.
Wow, you were here when everything opened.
Exactly. I've been here a long time. Unfortunately, I'm revealing how old I am, but that's okay. Because you know what? I was actually not talking to myself. It's okay, people don't talk to themselves. No. But I was actually thinking this morning, I might look old on the outside, but I still feel 16 on the inside.
Oh, I can definitely.
Can you get that?
Absolutely.
And you'll never lose that.
You're young at heart.
Yeah, you'll always feel like you're 16.
Yeah.
In your mind and in your heart, even
Incredible.
though your body betrays you.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I still think I'm 21 or 22 or 23. And then I have to be reminded by my teenage son that I am old. And no longer that guy anymore. From my understanding from our research, your first publication was a poem that you wrote in your high school yearbook.
That's
Is that
right.
correct?
Yeah.
And obviously you've gone on to do a lot more than that. What high school did you go to, and what was high school like during that time, and where did you hang out? Like, what did the teenagers do? Because I'd love to hear what those times in Scarborough were like.
So I started at Lord Roberts Public School.
Yeah, right
Then
there.
I finished my elementary career at Ellesmere Staton.
Okay.
Before it was Ellesmere Staton, it was just called Ellesmere.
Okay.
Our principal, Mr. Staton, actually died while I was attending, so they renamed the school. Went to Charles Gordon Senior Public School.
Okay.
That's Midland and Lawrence area. And then I went to Midland Avenue Collegiate Institute, which is no longer, it's an alternative high school now.
That's right.
And then off to university.
Right.
So, yeah.
Okay.
That's what I did.
All right. And what did Scarborough look like, I guess, during that time? It's obviously very different today here in 2025. What if you were to describe it to someone, was it farmland? Was it like half farmland, half city? What did it
So
look
when I was little, I had to be bused to Ellesmere School because I lived north of Ellesmere in the farmland. It was all farmland north of Ellesmere. If you can imagine, at Kennedy and Ellesmere, I just think about that intersection today.
Yeah, I couldn't
Farmland.
believe it. Yeah, couldn't believe it.
Yeah, so we were the farm kids that we were brought in from the farms. Yeah, it was just very different. There were no seatbelts in your cars.
Yeah, a very, very different time. Actually, my neighbor, because we live off Lawrence, said that when he was growing up, there were no houses north of Lawrence.
There you go.
And he can see if a truck was on Ellesmere. You can. They would sit around and watch the trucks go by, and there was nothing in the way.
Yeah, you looked down on the 401. You were on the overpass.
Wow.
Yeah, you watched. And they took all of that down. And that was true for many of the bridges along in Scarborough.
Interesting.
I don't know why they decided to do that.
So Barbara, the Bomb Girls, I see the passion that you have when you speak to people. For our listeners and our viewers who don't know anything about the Bomb Girls, what would you tell them?
Well, I would tell them that back during the Second World War, there were close to 1 million Canadians who worked on the home front to help win the victory for the Allied forces fighting overseas. And the vast majority of that, close to 1 million people, were women. And they did everything from making bandages to uniforms, from parachutes to tanks, from guns to aircraft. But one of the most dangerous things that women did in Canada was fill munitions. So they handled high explosives. And the largest munitions factory in Canadian history is located in Scarborough, Ontario.
Wow.
And that's the old GECO plant, General Engineering Company Canada Limited. And they were actually a mining company, and the Canadian government actually hired them to oversee the erection of this huge plant. 172 buildings on 346 acres of Scarborough farmland. They employed over 21,000 Canadians during the war, and the facility ran around the clock, 24/7 for 4 years.
Wow.
And they filled over 250 million rounds of ammunition for the Allied forces. And that was just one plant here in Scarborough.
How did you, or when did you discover the Bomb Girls? When you were, when did you realize such an amazing story took place in your hometown?
Scarborough. Yeah. So I worked for IBM, and I got sick. I developed multiple sclerosis, and I got moved to long-term disability. Well, what do you do when you've got this academic background and you're 30 years old and they say, sorry, but go home and wait to go into a wheelchair? Went back to school, enrolled in the School of Journalism, and I took other courses on the side, and started out, like I said, periodicals, then I moved to short stories, had those published, then I moved to novel-length fiction.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Had one of those books published, have 6 more that are collecting dust under my bed. That's where I was writing, and I realized at that moment that we had a whole generation of Canadians that had been forgotten.
So around the early 2000s is when you kind of became aware of
1999.
1999.
Yeah.
Okay. And then
at the cusp of the new millennium.
And then you're learning about something that had happened
Right here in Scarborough.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was history making because before the Second World War, Scarborough was predominantly just a rural community. They had two small communities. They had Agincourt, Midland and Shepherd area.
Yep.
And they had...
I think that's where the first bank was ever placed.
Really?
Yeah, Midland and I have
Shepherd,
an old picture.
I mean,
Midland and Shepherd, yeah.
The two churches are there, the warring churches.
That's
One on the northeast corner of Midland
That's right,
and Shepherd,
just
and
on the
one
other
just
side.
on the other side. Yeah, the warring churches, I call them. But anyways, and the other little community was the Scarborough Junction, down at Kennedy and St. Clair area. But other than that, it was farms. And this whole Second World War and building this munitions factory and having these 21,000 Canadians come and work there during the war.
Yeah.
And then the outgrowing from the war in terms of the low taxes and the low land values. And you had 1 million Canadian men returning from war. And they went over as young teenagers and they came back as men. And they were bringing war brides home. They wanted to start their lives and their families. And there was a huge era of prosperity in Scarborough, South Scarborough. And you've heard of the Golden Mile, obviously, and Eglinton Square. So they opened in the 1950s. And that was a direct result of that munitions factory being there during the 1940s.
So I think you can safely say that if not for the bomb girls, if not for the GECO plant being placed and for them to choose that Scarborough is where they would build it, Scarborough would have a very different history.
Oh, yes.
Totally
different. And what would it look like today?
We'll never know. I guess on a lighter note, I wanted to ask you, what's a restaurant you really like that maybe still exists today, or maybe a restaurant from back in the day in Scarborough that no longer exists?
Well, there's Johnny's Burgers at Vic Park in Shepherd. That's a staple, right? There's Watt's Restaurant at Eglinton Square. But one of our favorite restaurants now, and and I'm not going to pronounce it correctly, but it's VP or VIP or VIPI. It's
where's that?
So they have several locations, but the one that we love going to is on Kingston Road, just out east of Markham.
Do you know that?
It's a little. There you go.
VIPI Bistro.
Yeah, and it's Italian.
Okay.
Here you go. It's Italian.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, but it's run by, I think
she's
it's
unearthing gems for us.
Oh, yeah. Oh, go. It's a little hole in the wall. They have like maybe 6 or 8 tables.
Okay.
But the chefs are, you get white tablecloths like linen.
Okay, I'm going, Barbara.
Go.
So the tunnels you speak of.
The tunnels.
You showed me a map, and I was just kind of blown away because I think it runs from Eglinton all the way to Hymas off Warden. That is
and almost over to Birchmount.
That's a massive,
right?
Massive area.
I know.
I got 2 questions for you.
Yeah, you got 2 questions.
Okay.
Where are they, and how do you get into them? Right?
And can I come?
Right?
And can you bring us?
Every Scarbarian wants to go.
Yes.
I mean, come on. Tunnels.
So it's a yes?
Oh, it's a yes.
Oh, it's a yes. Yes. Okay, we're going.
This segment is brought to you by STC. Big thank you to Scarborough Town Center, the heart of Scarborough shopping and culture. We appreciate your support in helping us share local stories.
So, Barbara, I believe you've brought some relics.
I have.
Little show and tell.
Yeah, I brought some artifacts. You want to see them?
Yes, please.
Okay,
yes,
let
please.
me show you
what do you got?
brought.
I'm so curious.
Okay, so we'll start with this.
Whoa.
So,
what is that?
So this is a warhead. So it's a fuse. You can see the threads on the bottom. So this would have been screwed into a much larger projectile or a shell. Okay, and then it would have been loaded into an artillery gun.
Okay.
On the front lines.
Wow.
So there would be a detonator right here in the top, and then there'd be wafers and other detonators down throughout. But you have to imagine how quickly this would have detonated. Okay, this is a timer fuse, so the soldier on the front line could dial in
No way.
Yeah, so he could
Okay.
actually dial. Now, sorry for the pun, but this is being fused shut. But there are still places
Don't
where
apologize.
you can actually unscrew if you wanted to.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I'm going to hand that to you so you can actually. And
Yeah.
oh, so are you old enough to remember the penny?
Oh, come on. 1984. I definitely
Oh,
collected
okay.
pennies and all
Okay,
that
I've got
stuff.
children older than you. But yeah, so it's made of brass.
Okay.
So it actually will make your hand smell coppery like a penny.
Wow.
This is empty. There are no high explosives in that. But can you imagine the weight?
Oh, if
Okay,
you, yeah.
and a single lock.
And then if you were to attach the shell.
Yes, and yeah,
Wow.
with the explosives in it.
Look at that.
So every fuse that left the Scarborough
So this is a
plant,
timer. Sorry,
it's
this is a timer.
here on the bottom.
So they can set the timer
Yes.
so that when it's
Put it in-
released,
yes,
it would
could
explode
explode either mid-air or explode upon impact, or actually after impact. That all depended on how they wanted to set the timer.
Man.
So with that, let me show you this. So in 2020,
Mm-hmm.
in a forest in the Netherlands,
In 2020,
in 2020,
in a forest in the Netherlands.
in the Netherlands,
Yeah.
outside Amsterdam, a gentleman he had his metal detector out. He was looking for war memorabilia, if you can imagine.
Wow.
If you know your history at all, World War II, the battle to liberate Holland was one of the deadliest and most horrific battles of the Second World War. So there's still a lot there to be found. So this was found.
Wow.
So how do we know that this came from the Scarborough plant? Why did he contact me? Because every fuse that left the Scarborough facility was etched with a big S, little c for Scarborough,
Wow.
big
Okay.
C for Canada.
Okay. SC.
And if you look here, it's still there.
Wow.
So this
Can I-
is
can I hold
yes,
that? Yeah.
but it's sharp, okay? It is a piece of shrapnel. You can see how thick the fuse is,
Mm-hmm.
and it's very sobering to know what that was meant to do.
Unbelievable. And for that to be found 2020?
2020.
So 5 years ago, it's been sitting there for
Yes. For
how many
80
years? Wow. Look at this, SC. In the Netherlands. From Scarborough to the Netherlands and back to Scarborough.
It's come home.
Back with
It's
Barbara.
come home.
Okay.
So this will one day be displayed in a museum.
Mhm.
So last week, a week ago today,
Okay.
we unveiled a Scarborough GCO plaque.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So we finally, 85
Excellent.
years later,
Right.
we have a plaque
That's
commemorating Scarborough Bomb Girls, or Canada's Bomb Girls.
beautiful.
And at that ceremony, Councillor Candevel announced that we would one day have a museum.
Excellent.
So it's now on record that we're going to have a Bomb Girls Museum
Oh, I can't wait for
in
that.
Scarborough. In Scarborough.
Thank you for bringing in these relics.
You're
I hope they get to the museum.
They will.
And
They will.
I cannot wait for that to happen. I will be there for the opening
Okay.
of the museum. Okay.
Okay. We're
You
both
can
going to
book
be at
that.
there.
I'm there 100%.
Awesome.
I have to follow in your footsteps and make sure I'm at the beginning of all these big things.
These great things to come.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. And so I think we're gonna wrap up.
You had one more question,
One more
I think?
question. Barbara, you've been amazing. Thank you so much.
I bet you say that to everyone.
No, I actually don't.
Yeah.
I learn a lot just every time we interact. So I'm grateful for that, and I really do believe, God willing, that I will become kind of the Scarborough historian
Please.
in the future.
Please.
And,
And be a spokesperson
yeah.
for the Bomb Girls Legacy Foundation.
Oh,
Be a
I'd love
to get out there and share the story.
Oh yeah, and that's what
no
we're
one knows about this.
Yeah.
Like no one knows.
Yeah.
And you think about the multiculturalism and the huge melting pot of Scarborough and all the immigration that's come into Scarborough,
Yeah.
and no one knows about the history
Yeah. No.
of what was here
Right.
before.
We're gonna do our part in sharing that. I think it's such a special story that has been hidden for too long and forgotten. And we talked about how in the United States or in other countries, they do a great job.
Yes, they do.
Of celebrating,
Yes.
you know, the war heroes, right? And I think more can be done here. So I'm very excited that you have a museum
And
coming up. Yeah.
you're talking about the U.S. You know, they talk about, you know, Rosie the Riveter. You've heard of Rosie the Riveter, so you know she's iconic in terms of women in war work. And you know, and she's got this pose.
Yeah.
But you know that we in Canada had our own version of Rosie the Riveter before Rosie the Riveter.
No, I didn't know. No.
So look up Ronnie the Bren Gun Girl.
Ronnie the Brand Gun Girl. Okay. I will.
And you will see what a true Canadian war worker looks like.
Okay.
And she makes Rosie the Riveter look like a housewife. Yeah.
I wanted to ask, for everyone who is watching this and listening to this, how can people learn more about the Bomb Girls, and how can they help in, you know, eventually getting you the museum and helping the foundation and donating to the foundation? How they can learn more?
Yeah, so online we actually have a website called the Bomb Girls Legacy Foundation .ca.
Okay.
So that's our platform currently online. They can also reach out to my own personal website, barbaradickson.ca.
Okay.
They can find a lot of information there. In terms of donations, we're very gladly accepting donations of any amount. We're not a full charity yet. We're a nonprofit, but we haven't got charity status yet. So any donation that needs an actual tax receipt, then it goes through our trust store. So it's just a matter of reaching out to us and asking for that information, and we could give that trust store address information so that they can have a tax receipt.
Okay.
But obviously donations are our biggest. We're a nonprofit, so we don't make any money.
Right.
Everything is volunteer. But it takes a lot of money to run a foundation and to run to build. Okay, here you go.
Okay.
There are 20 original GECO buildings still standing today.
20.
20
Okay.
of the 172.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
So they're there, which is unique in and of itself because everything was torn down across the country.
Yeah.
You might find a plaque, the odd plaque, but for most part, you won't find any remains. But there are 20 buildings still in Scarborough, okay, all independently owned and operated by private individuals or companies. These buildings are built entirely from wood. You won't find any steel in them because all the steel was going to build your tanks and your aircraft and everything.
During that time, okay, yeah.
Couldn't afford to put steel in buildings,
Yeah.
okay? Entirely made of wood. They were meant to last 5 years.
Wow. Still standing.
85 years later, these wooden sheds are still, they've survived, okay? They're still standing. 2 of those original GECO buildings came up recently for sale. How much do you think they sold for?
It's got to be in the millions, like millions.
Okay, so give me a number. You think it's like 1 million? Do you think it's 100,000?
Definitely not 1 million. I think, I don't know.
400 million? No. 400,000?
I will say 10 million.
15 million
15 million.
for a wooden structure.
Wow.
That tells you
that has
about
lasted
85 years.
Yeah.
So that tells you how valuable the land is on which it stands. It also tells you that we don't have heritage protection. Anybody can tear it down.
Right. That's unfortunate.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
And that's something we're trying. We have many initiatives, and that's one, is to try to preserve at least one building there.
Yeah. So there's 20 today.
It's 20 today.
And there's a few that are slated for demolition, I assume?
None that I know of right now.
Okay.
None that I'm aware of.
But maybe down the road, unfortunately. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because you know these new sales have come through. What are you going to do with a wooden structure?
Yeah.
You're going to tear it down. The land is very valuable.
Yes.
So we need to preserve that in some way.
So you've agreed to take me and the team on a tour.
Yes.
And
Yes.
that's going to be like the highlight of the year, I think, for us. Yeah. That's pretty cool. And for us, just kind of driving on Warden and Eglinton, never even thinking for a second that
yes,
there's
that
a
was
whole,
right under
pretty
your
much a
feet.
whole civilization under there,
Yeah.
you know, basically helping win World
The
War
Second
II.
World War.
Yeah,
That's right.
unreal.
Yeah.
Barbara, thank you so much.
Thank you
for
so
your
much,
time.
Jesse, for your
This is
time.
great.
Thank you.
Thank
This
you
has
for
been
coming
amazing.
out. And we do have a gift. Barbara,
Yes.
you're coming back to the zoo. Here's a pass from the Toronto Zoo. They're open 365 days a year. So enjoy.
Wow. That's amazing. And look, you have my favorite animal on the back.
A giraffe.
A giraffe.
Because you were there at the first day of the opening of Scarborough Town Center,
Yeah.
they didn't forget. And they
They
said,
didn't forget?
give this to Barbara.
Wow, that's amazing. That was a lot of fun. Remember all the stories I could tell you about Scarborough Town Center. Okay, I'll tell you one.
Okay, tell me one.
We had an ice cream store. I think it's a Baskin Robbins now or something.
Okay.
Or no, it might be Colonel's. But
Okay.
anyways, a top floor ice cream store. You could get soft serve for like, I don't know how much, like
This
really
is
cheap.
Summerfields by chance? Or?
Was it Summerfields? Yeah. So
Summerfield.
anyways, I was so excited. I had 2 cones, one for me and one for my mother. And we were walking down to get on the main, you know, the big center court escalators to go down to meet my mother. And somebody hit the button and the escalator went like this.
No.
And my ice creams left the cone. But being a true Scarberian, okay, my hands went out and I caught the ice cream.
You saved it.
I saved it because there were people right there in front of me. I took it like this and I just went swoosh right back in the cone. And I met my mother and goes, here's your cone, Mom.
Wow. Wow, what a memory.
I know,
Unreal.
but thank you very much.
And there's one more.
Wow, one more.
We keep on having surprises for you here.
Oh, look at that.
As a guest on our show.
Thank you.
Just a little gift from us.
I've changed a little.
That's all right. Because
I don't know what happened. Do you know what
you
happened
took
to
it
my
20
hair?
years ago.
I don't know what happened to my hair.
That happens. That's okay.
I'll tell you. There's a story behind that. I dyed my hair for decades. Okay, dyed my hair for decades. Then I found out my daughter was dying, and she was in hospital. And I went into the washroom, and I noticed that my gray roots were coming in. And I stopped and I looked in the mirror and I thought, what are you doing? You've got a 17-year-old daughter who's clinging to life, and you're worried about the color of your hair. And I made myself a promise, and I made my daughter a promise that day that I would never dye my hair again. Yeah.
And we did a little research and
Emily,
her heart transplant.
Heart transplant.
That's right.
Yeah.
Wow. And you know, it's funny because me and my wife were talking and we're saying, you know, we're complaining about very small problems.
Yeah.
And you think to what you must have gone through during that time, and you are a champion.
Thank you.
For making
Emily's
a
true champion. She's an inspiration. Truly.
Wow.
Yeah. 11 years post-transplant now. Woo.
Amazing.
Average life expectancy post-transplant is 10 years.
Yeah.
She's 11, and we say she's gonna go for many, many more years.
Wow.
And
Something about these Dicksons.
Oh, there you go. We're fighters.
This episode is brought to you by the Scarborough Shooting Stars, the team that brought Scarborough its first ever professional championship. Get your season tickets now. Go to www.scarboroughshootingstars.ca. Brought to you by Aero Group of Companies, industry leaders dedicated to excellence, innovation, and community impact. A huge thank you to Aero for supporting Scarborough stories and helping us put our city on the map.